Hi there, let's review my very own books to learn the Maltese language. These are language books designed for absolute beginners who want to start learning the Maltese language. So you may wonder, well, why do you write a book, in Maltese, since you're not a Maltese native? Well, simply because I wish I had those books when I started to learn Maltese. I really had a tough time myself starting to learn, finding the right materials, and finding clear explanations of how the Maltese language is. So that's why I wrote them. Let's take them one by one. Let's start with this one here, Maltese for Foreigners, 700 plus everyday words and expressions. The link to buy these books are in the description. So you find there the link to this one as well. These are the words and expressions you will hear the most often in Maltese. And these are also the ones that you will first understand when you're listening to Maltese speaking. These ones will be the first ones that you will know. So obviously we'll cover greetings, how to say I don't know, some fill words Maltese often use, typical sentences, and quite a little bit of grammar, not so much. So again, the vocabulary you will hear most often will be in this book. I also added for some words the literal translation, because sometimes the literal translation is not the same as the actual translation. I'm trying to find one here. For example, Icentu Saha, that's the health center, like a hospital, but literally it's the center of the health. So that's why I added these, so that you would know, okay, apart these words mean this, but together they have a different meaning. There are also audio files you can download to listen to these words. All right, let's switch to the second one. This is the book for basic Maltese grammar. This book is the French version, so there's also an English version that's a little bit smaller, but the content is just the same. So if you're French speaking, you can also buy it in French. Good. What do you get here? Well, it's the basic grammar. Let's look at the content. Half of the chapters are about verbs, because verbs are very complicated, as you may know, in Maltese. So, for example, the imperative, the present tense, the infinitives, to have, the negative, etc., etc. These are, well, this is the combination of 2 years of hard studying, and I tried to explain things as simply as I could, so that you get the basic grammar. Except for the verbs, there are things like nouns, adjectives, prepositions, possessive, and so on and so on. It's based on the courses that I followed and, well, my own experience. Good. The last one is a book with only conjugations. So this is a book about Maltese conjugation. The title is Learn Maltese, 100 plus verbs explained. So I will explain one by one each verb, and with this book you will be able to conjugate these, the 100, also the most common. These are the most common verbs that are used in Maltese. You will be able to conjugate the verbs in Maltese. The structure of the book is first I explain a little bit how are Maltese verbs formed. Maltese is a Semitic language, so it comes from Arabic, which is probably rather hard for you if you don't know any Arabic. So the roots, the present, the past, the three more tenses, etc., etc. And then we go one by one, so that you can conjugate each of these 100 plus verbs. There are also some categories. There are the ones that end with a consonant that are grouped together in the first part, and then the ones with one root ending with a vowel. And then verbs from other languages, from Italian, have some different conjugations, and a fourth category of the exceptions. All right, at the end I also added an index of the verbs that are that I wrote the conjugations of in this book. So I derived from my own knowledge this book, as well as from websites where you can find the conjugations, but where it's rather hard to find exactly, okay, how do I say the present tense, how do I say the past tense, and how the future tense, and so on. So for each verb, I can show you here, for example, to repeat, to return. Here's the imperative, here's the present and the future, here's the past tense, here's the present continuous, and the negative as well. So the negative is there, is explained there as well. All right, all of these three books, so the one with the most common words, about the grammar, and with the conjugations, can be bought in ebook format as well as in paper format through the links below. So hope you buy my books, and see you in another video.